Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Mismapasion, and full disclosure before we begin. Of course, this is not a gaming channel in any capacity, but based on the topic of today's video, I think it's pertinent to put my thoughts out there into the universe and internet in the hopes that it reaches the right ears and that we as a community can make enough of a noise to make these things happen. Now, to that effect, and although it's not yet been officially announced, so maybe it could all just be an entire load for all we know, news has broken that FIFA has signed a gaming deal with renowned game developer 2K, who are of course well known within the sports game realm for their annual WWE and NBA games. This deal comes of course in the wake of the ugly divorce between FIFA and EA because before they got married, neither side wanted to sign a prenup. And in the wake of that split, EA have kept custody of their franchise, rebranding it from FIFA to EAFC, which just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? And FIFA have been looking high and low for a new partner to make a cash cow baby with, and it seems that finally, the search is now coming to an end. There has been a lot of excitement on the internet about the prospect of a FIFA 2K game, and a lot of it is with good reason. When it comes to their games in general, of course overlooking the likes of WWE 2K20, 2K are highly regarded for the meticulous care and effort they put into the player's experience, with the likes of NBA's My Career Mode being a popular fixture of their releases when it comes to single player, and the freedom of their online lobbies also being something that's well enjoyed by players worldwide. This level of care and effort is in sharp contrast to EA's own offerings the last 10 or so years, where about 99.9% of their efforts have been exclusively focused on their Ultimate Team mode, which has raked in more money for the company than they know what to do with, which has led to other areas of the game standing still and rarely ever receiving UAs of an improved player experience, bar a few gimmicks that are tacked on to make it seem like EA still gives a damn. Things like manager mode, despite there being the addition of coaching staff and training plans and playstyles, etc., these things are just facelifts to previous game mechanics of previous FIFAs gone by, which offer more or less the same game experience regardless of what you do. The player career mode has been stagnant since I was still in my early teens, with the only difference being you no longer have to do quests to unlock cosmetics and certain player buffs. Now, you just play for the sake of playing, but in the latest edition of EA's offering, you can't even go out on loan. You can only do transfers, which is just crazy in my opinion. And I could go on and on with my list of 1001 complaints about EA's efforts when it comes to their footballing franchise, but I think it's those shortcomings that this purported new deal with FIFA and 2K need to capitalize on, especially since the community is so vocal about it. But I think the biggest slam dunk moment that could cement the staying power of the new game would be a dedicated women's mode. It's a drum that's been beaten for years, and I am a broken record when I say it, but a women's career, player, and story mode would be an incredible experience, especially since it is yet to be done in any capacity. The closest we're getting to that right now is the next release of Football Manager, which will have its own women's mode that players can enjoy, but when it comes to actually playing and not looking at a lot of spreadsheets half the time, this is new territory. In my opinion, if 2K adapt the best facets of their story mode to make something that's even just 1% better than the dumpster fire that is known as the journey, it'll be a huge step in the right direction. The story mode should have meaningful consequences that affect the player's progress, from their interactions with other characters in the story to their on-pitch performances. 2K can easily go down the road of your own pro, or have a dedicated story mode to a real-life player who's either a legend of the game or is still currently playing professionally. There are so many stories to tell out there. They can even go as far as to let you use your creative player in other modes and complete the story mode, because small things like that go a long way in winning over the fan base. When it comes to the career modes, player career mode just needs to give the players the freedom to do whatever they want. If you feel you want to go out on loan, be given the option. The same goes with transfers. Dialogue options during post-game cutscenes and even pre-game cutscenes should also have tangible consequences in-game, like being benched when you say something negative about the manager, or getting your pay docked because you spoke out against the club, and other unexplored bells and whistles that make the gameplay far more immersive than what is currently available on the gaming market today. And the manager mode should be the same, and also have fundamental options added in as well, so just giving the players the option to inquire whether an in-game player wants to come to your club and being able to agree personal terms with them as well. Again, having real consequences in-game, for example, getting a lot of bad press, you get accused of tapping up a player when really you're just holding discussions. Such things are great introductory steps that can allow this new game to really establish itself in the space that is currently monopolized by EA. Doing all these things, especially within the confines of a women's mode, will also do so much in bringing in gamers old and new, especially since, like I said before, it hasn't been done. I don't know about you, but having a dedicated story mode where I can create my pro and have interaction with starlets like Caicedo and world beaters like Kerr would be something that's really mesmerizing, especially when I can go on to forge my own career and make different kinds of friends and enemies along the way. The manager and player career modes would be a gust of fresh air and would feel like it's the first time experiencing it, because players will be introduced to a whole new world where transfers, player contracts, and other related things work so differently from what they're used to, and having a rich database of players and leagues, not just from popular countries like England and the USA, but the same areas as other men's teams and other places where women's football is far more popular than men's football, will help in making the experience far greater than what anyone else can offer, because so far the most we have ever gotten is the Women's World Cup and Champions League, with just a few well-known teams thrown in there for good measure just so EA won't get accused of not caring. But in reality they really don't, because playing with women's teams or players is limited to the game's exhibition and tournament modes exclusively. Also, having licensed competitions that aren't just the European kind would be great, as nice as it would be to play the Women's Euros and other similar competitions like the Women's Champions League. It would really be something fresh if on a national level you get to play in the Sheep Leaves Cup, the CONCACAF World Cup, or even the WAFCON, and then domestically you get to play in the Women's Copa Libertadores. Yes, it'll cost a lot of money licensing wise, but these are major items that can make the experience so enjoyable and help in pushing forward women's football in general. The more I talk and think about it, the more it sounds like a really great game in the making that FIFA 2K can become. But this is purely speculation on my behalf. Lord only knows what we're actually going to get if this all comes to pass in the first place, but it would be really nice to see a football game that shows a lot of love and respect to the women. It's a worthwhile investment, and there's honestly no excuse to not go through with it, because the interest is there, the fan base is there, and the gamers are there. Make it happen, 2K. As always, thank you very much as ever for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts about this topic or any other topic in the comments relating to women's football below. And if you're someone from 2K who just so happens to be listening to this, yes, I would not mind becoming a corporate shill for your game, but only if the women's mode is really substantive. See you in the next one.